Alright, so this is going to be a really short one. I just... there were a couple of things I wanted to bring up in this particular part. I'll just finish the chapter first. But, alright, okay, so, yeah, so, I casually had a look back to see how long was left of of this chapter 9, and, as it turns out, there's about, there's barely anything left, so I stopped the video at a pretty, unfortunate place, because, if I just kept reading for about 30 more seconds, I would have got, to the end of it, so I'll just do that now, quickly. So, can you hear me, Lucario? Ellipsis. Hello? Ellipsis. All right, I have no choice but to do this to you. He approached to Lucario's back, he placed his hands above his head, and he started to massage his ears. Because Lucario's kind of spaced out a little bit. May I ask what that will do? What will that do? Master Hand asked, confused. Just watch, Chris said simply. Lucario's mouth suddenly formed a smile. We wanted him to hear us, not to make him smile while he is ignoring us. As I said before, just watch, Chris said, a little annoyed. All right, Chris, you can stop now, Lucario said, opening his left eye and looking at Chris. Chris stopped. I'd continue, but I know you were enjoying it. He smiled and narrowed his eyes. That's... okay. What is making you to think like that? Lucario looked away, blushing a little. Senpai, blushing a little of embarrassment. Enough! My ship sails in the morning, Master Hand said in a weird tone. What? Chris, Lucario... Oh, even the characters are convinced that Chris and Lucario are engaged in a romantic relationship. That doesn't bode well for the outcome of the story. I was just fucking around, but it could well be that we get an interspecies romance. I mean, there is time. There's certainly no lack of space in which that could occur in this story. I hope it doesn't. I really do. Alright. Enough! My ship sails in the morning, Master Hand said in a weird tone. Chris, Lucario, and Crazy Hand looked at him confused. Look at the screen. An icon was getting darker. Who was in that icon was. Preview, okay. Preview of the next chapter. You must choose who was in that icon so the chapter can proceed. It must be someone who his game was released after Melee, but before... oh, sorry. That's Chris, okay. You must choose who was in that icon so the chapter can proceed. It must be someone who his game was released after Melee, but before Brawl. That's a pretty fantastic spelling of the word released, by the way. Chris said, waving his hand. Choose wisely. Was he trying to give it a fucking contest? Was our channel Chris trying to do like a contest to see who could guess who was gonna be in the... who we were going to meet in the next chapter? That's pretty, I'm sure that was really popular in its day. Okay. You heard him. Send a review with that character whose game was released after Melee, but before Brawl. R&R, please. That motherfucker, he did. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe that was popular. I mean, this fanfiction has obviously gained quite a bit of notoriety over the years. But this is what I wanted to talk about, because, I was looking at the play. I've never watched any of the episodes again after I upload them. But by chance, I happened to look at. I just picked part 39, Ellipsis, I think it was called, and at the start I was discussing how there was a little thing at the top saying how Chapter 5 had been rewritten. Had been rewritten on July the 23rd, 2015, right? And I checked back here just recently, and it says Chapter 6 has been rewritten. Having succeeded on their first assignment, the duo arrives at an unfamiliar location that used to be crowded with people. And it says it was updated on July the 23rd. But this year. So I'm wondering if... it seems a really odd coincidence that he would rewrite a chapter, and it's the next consecutive chapter exactly a year after the first one. So I'm wondering if it's like an annual exercise that if he does that, he'll never finish rewriting it, obviously, because unless he plans to live to be what, like 220 or something. Well, yeah. So I don't know. It just seems weird, but like, so chapter 6 has now been rewritten because when I was reading chapter 5, no, actually no, because it was probably I was on about chapter 3 or something. That was when chapter 5 had been rewritten. That was the most recent update. It had been a year ago, so I assumed that he'd finished whatever he was doing with the story. But now he's just contributed this newly rewritten chapter. So I'm wondering if maybe the reason that so much shit has gone completely unexplained. There's huge gaping fucking holes in the story. And I'm wondering if maybe it's because he's planning to rewrite Chapter 7 at some stage, and that he will add all those things in eventually. So I'm wondering if I've actually started this little exercise at the wrong time. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. To be honest, if I'm so dogged that that I do continue with this all the way, let's face it, it'll probably be like part 1,000 before I'm finished with it. And it probably will be July the 23rd, 2017, God willing. That I'll still be reading then. So like yeah, there's a good chance that that he might rewrite Chapter 7 in that time, and maybe on July the 23rd. So it's like I'm just wondering if I should read the rewritten chapter in addition to what I've already done. So I don't know. It's something I'm going to think more about actually. Whether it's worth going back over this stuff, if he's altering it, or whether I should just continue and then just finish the chapters as I kind of as I came to it. I guess I don't know how to phrase it. I guess as reading the work as it is presented to me, and it's is the closest thing to its original form, I guess. I think that's probably what I'm going to do, but I may, once I'm finished with the main bulk of it, I may go back to, look over Chapter 7 and stuff, because I'm a fucking masochist, really. But yeah, I took a long time that was a fairly lengthy little afterthought section there, and I'm sorry if you just wanted to hear the shit story, but I wanted to make that clear. I probably failed, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say, basically. Alright, that's all.